Hello everyone and welcome to some more F1 22 My Team. Today we're here for the French Grand Prix at the Circuit Paul Ricard. If you haven't seen the previous episode, go check it out guys, link up in the top right for the Austrian Grand Prix. Of course a sprint race weekend, quite a lot of chaos and overall an enjoyable episode. If you're going to enjoy this one though, leave a like and subscribe for more as we jump into the Pirelli Hotlap here, driving the Ferrari Roma in a rival duel. Essentially 3 rounds, 1v1, and I'm going to show you the last one, which is basically the one where we start behind our rival. And it was quite an easy challenge, to be fair. We got a great start straight away. I already won the first 2 rounds, as you can see in the top right, and we had one more victory to pick up. And we're going to just basically send it. I was taking, my sweet time with this because it was quite easy, so I was having a bit of fun and just drifting the car a bit and just having a bit of, fun, trying to see how much I can kick the tail out on these supercars. So I'm starting to get the feel for that, the drifting now, and I want to try and give the drift challenge another go next time I get the chance to do so. But yeah, we smashed this one out of the park, and we got the gold score, which is of course maximum acclaim of 1,000 points and $100,000. And we're starting to get very close now to level 10 on the acclaim as a team, which means we can unlock an extra sponsor. There's a strong chance we can achieve that at the end of today's episode, so stay tuned for that. With that said though, we're going to jump into the weekend and into the action, and we have a hell of a lot of rain forecast for qualifying, and I mean a lot of it. That could be a potential opportunity for us to try and achieve something. This weekend we've got a major upgrade on the drag reduction, a minor on the ERS, and a failed major one for the chassis, which we had to go ahead and repurchase. To go with that, we've got another major chassis one and a minor aero, so quite a few upgrades on the way, and just kind of gradually making their way through, as we do bring some decent improvements this weekend and hopefully more to come over the next few races, and in the hope to try and turn the corner, because we are obviously bottom of the chart and with the slowest team on the grid, so I'm hoping to try and find some form. So with that said, we jump into Friday practice and into the track acclimatization in the rain for the first time this season. We smashed out the park though, getting a purple score on the program. As you can see, they're only getting green on one of the gates, which was at turn 1. After that, we moved into the ERS management, I believe, and also still in FP1 in the wet conditions, which was quite easy for us to achieve the maximum score. And yeah, we get the job done comfortably as we go nearly a second faster as we get purple. With that done, we're going to move into the race strategy program. However, we're going to do that in FP2 because FP2 is dry, the race is dry, so it's only logical that we do it in representative conditions for the race. So as you can see, there are the telemetry graphs for the ERS management, and now here we are, the race strategy. So far so good. I've smashed the first 2 laps out the park. I have a bit of a moment on the last one there as we lose the tail and just snap around. Luckily we managed to catch it, and we're still pretty much a full second up as we make our way into the final 2 corners, and the car feels good, man. I'm actually using one of the preset setups this weekend, which is the reduced downforce, I think it is, the higher top speed, preset number 4. And I just basically tweaked the aero a little bit. And it seems to be working well for us as we get purple on the race strategy. In terms of telemetry, you can see we've got slightly better tyre wear than projected. And then in terms of overall pace, we had some pretty solid pace all round, pretty much a full second quicker. So after practice, we scored nearly 700 points, actually just over 700 points. We then got a bunch of discounts applied to aero and durability components, which we will have a look at the end of the episode. I need to make some durability work because we've had 3 failures this season. Of course, we're coming off the back of an engine failure in Austria in the sprint race, and then we had one in the race before that at Silverstone. So hopefully we've put our demons behind us and we can do some upgrades on our durability and try to have a decent run of races. With that said though, let's get into it. New helmet this weekend as we jump into qualifying, and we're going to test out the conditions and see what exactly is in store for us as we actually skip all the way to the final minute and a half. Now the reason for that is because everyone went out in the full wets and the track was drying. We started off in full wet and we're now apparently in light rain conditions. So I thought I'd roll the dice and gamble, and if this pays off, it could be an easy pass into Q2. So we're going to try our luck on the intermediates right at the end of qualifying with, ideally the best conditions possible for the track. Through turns 1 and 2 though, you can see we're struggling for grip as we fight the car, and you can use Alonso ahead as a reference as to how fast the wet tyre is as we're just dropping off massively. And it looks like at the moment this gamble isn't working out as we've got a car behind us. I think it's a Ferrari, and one thing I'm learning with this game, the more I play it and the more wet weather I play in, the conditions aren't like last year's game. You have to stay on the more, let's say, wet compound tyre, so in this case the full wet tyre, for longer. You have to let the track dry out a lot more this year, and also the same applies to the intermediates when you go for the dries. You have to stay on the inters a lot early this year. Even though you get DRS enabled, you can actually still stay on the inters for a little while this year. So I'm still kind of getting my head around that and learning that to find where the crossover is. And yeah, you can see I'm still trying to push, but I'm 2.2 seconds down on Sonoda in P18, and yeah, it's not looking great for us. As you see, Jack Aitken now up into 18th place. This is his debut, by the way. If you don't know, then last race, of course, we had to drop Paul Chair as we didn't have enough cash to re-sign him. So Jack Aitken, of course, is now our teammate for at least the rest of the season. I'll then make a decision going to season 2 what I'm going to go for. But for now, Jack is our new teammate, making our way into the final few corners now to end the lap. And obviously we're not going to go through because you can see we're not really making any progress. The track did start to come towards me at the very end of the lap, but there wasn't enough grip over the whole lap, and we've crossed the line with a 1:48.1, which was a pretty shocking lap time, to be honest with you. And it's P22 once again for us in qualifying, and there's confirmation as we were 6.2 seconds off P1 and about 4.2 seconds off going through. So yeah, pretty much sums up our fortune at the minute. I tried to try something different, just to see if we can break the Q1 knockout streak, but it wasn't to be. So yeah, we're going to start the race from last place. However, as I mentioned in practice, we've got a decent race car. The race is in the dry, and we'll take some risks in the race, I think, and try a different strategy. So let's get into it, and let's see if we can turn that around.
Hello and welcome from the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. Now, it's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. So let's hope we see more of those in the race today. A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, George Russell and Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Joe and Lando Norris, Bottas, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Magnussen, Perez, Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty, Jack Aitken and Lance Stroll, Sonoda, Latifi, Martinez and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now, what is this race going to have in store for us? Because is it going to be more of the same? I've taken the gamble. I've stuck with 110 AI for this one. I do feel like we're going to struggle. Even in practice, it wasn't just me. Aitken was off the pace. It seems to be this could be a track that potentially brings out the worst things in this car. However, we do still have upgrades on it this weekend, so it should be a bit more competitive. So strategy is a medium hard. I was tempted to swap it around, and I might still do so. I think I'm going to start on the hardest race to switch it up and try something different, just for the sake of the video. Otherwise, I feel like we're doing the same thing every single time. So I'm going to go hard medium with a possible eye on hard to soft, but I don't know if that's possible. Our tyre wear is quite high. Fuel wise, I'm going to go 0.8 as it is quite a fuel heavy circuit. And the setup is actually just the low downforce one with just a bit more front wing and a touch less rear wing. The rest of it is the same. We're just going to make the adjustments from wet conditions to dry. and I think we're good to go. So let's get into it. Let's see what happens. It should be a fun race. I'm going to just pump the pressure up by 1 as we're going to be on the hard tyres. And we'll see what happens. Predictions in chat. Leave a like if you're going to enjoy. And let's get into it. Okay, let's do this. Trying to get the last bit of rear tyre temp as Sebastian Vettel goes through us. There we go. Nice few burnouts just to get the rear tyres up to temp. Line her up. Let's try and nail it this time. There we go. We'll take that 0.4. Decent enough. Right, let's try and make this hard tyre work. Let's get into it. Good start. Excellent start. Come on. Let's try and use the outside here. This might be an advantage for us. Yep. This is working out good for us. What a start. Got a couple of cars in the hard tyres. Ricardo's on them as well, so he'd be a good reference to aim against. Careful here. So AI get a bit out of shape. We're going to try to carry some speed around the outside. That'll give us the inside through here as we move up to P17. What a start on the hard tyre. I like the formation lap, man. You know, having the ability to control your tyre temp and your grid slot can make you decently competitive on lap 1 on a slower tyre. Here comes Stroll. He's closing in with the RS, but I should have enough to stay ahead as Perez just ahead, getting a move done on Gasly as he fights back with the field, of course, in the Red Bull. Stroll fighting here. We're going to have to use that battery. I don't really want to drain it entirely if I can avoid it. Not quite flat through there, but we sort of stay ahead of Stroll for now. Ricardo going for the move on Gasly. Runs him out to dry. So Ricardo making that hard tyre work as well. And Stroll actually runs off track. I think he was looking to move around my outside and it completely backfired on him. So hopefully Aiken can pick up the pieces. But lap 1 draws to a close and we're P17. So that is an excellent start from us. Now we're going to see if reality hits and we're struggling for pace. I mean, we usually struggle in the medium. So this time we're on the hard. So I'm expecting it to be even harder. Let's see if we can try and hang on to these guys. As expected, I don't quite have the pace to keep up. We're not a million miles off, to be fair. It's not terrible, the pace. I think if I had mediums, I'd actually be keeping up, but that's part of the pain.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
It's not going to take Stroll long to get past, I don't think. Well, let's try and do our best and keep the pace up. Oh, Stroll's going to go for a hit. I'm not going to fight. Well, Stroll gets it all wrong. My God. That's the worst thing you can do when the AI pass you. Is they make a stupid mistake like that and cost you so much time, which is completely what we don't want. Let's try and hang with Stroll and DRS, although to be fair, I'm not sure how long because I don't have a lot of battery left, but it seems like a straight line speed is better this weekend. I am running very low downforce.
Yellow flag.
Oh, here we go. Yes, safety car deployed. Nice. That's going to help neutralise the race and keep us in touch. Only issue is strategy-wise. To be fair, it's not too bad actually. It's quite an early safety car, so those on mediums probably,
Green flag. Okay.
I wouldn't say can make it.
Which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. The safety car is being deployed.
Okay, Jeff. So no one's actually retired from what I can tell. So maybe someone's lost their front wing or something, and there's debris over the track. Interestingly, no one's retired though. Either way, like I was saying, it's a bit earlier. I don't know if they could stretch the set hard to the end, so this actually benefits us. It keeps us in the race. It bring the pack back together. It gives us a chance to recharge our battery, which was running out. So this is a bonus for us, and it's going to help out our strategy massively. So we'll welcome this absolutely. Magnussen in the pit lane, so I'm guessing that's the man responsible. I think Perez was in there as well, and so is Ocon. So 3 cars in the pits, possibly a 3-way collision of some sort with lots of debris on track. P15 for us now. This is looking pretty decent. Safety car in this lap. Getting ready for the restart. We've managed to get our battery fully recharged there. It wasn't easy. I only just managed it on this lap. Trying to keep the fuel back up to standard now. We've saved a little bit of fuel, so that's good. And now we're going to get ready to go back underway. Back and slipping away a bit, trying to get some rear tyre temp while I can. Let's go wait for the restart. A couple burnouts. Tyre wear also kicking in at this stage. Oh, that was a horrible bit of traction.
Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on.
Right, back on the way. Let's just try and stick with the pack again like we've done in the first part of the race. Oh my god, we both run it in deep, but we get ahead of Stroll. That's going to drop us out of DRS range of Gasly already, but we'll take it. My god. Whew, that was close. I was running deep as it was, but Stroll completely messed it up. Ricciardo is the kind of moving target. I'm not saying we're going to beat him, but he's in the same strategy as us. So if we can stick with him for the majority of this stint, that would be great. Let's try and push the pace a little bit here. Hopefully the Aston Martins battle amongst themselves. Oh, we've got another yellow. George Russell out of the race. That's going to give us a place. Lovely stuff. Possible second safety car? Maybe not. Didn't quite get within range of Pierre as expected. So P13 for now, but I don't know how long it's going to last because Stroll's going to be on us. Bottas pits the P12.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
That was a personal best, so that's kind of the best I've got really pace-wise. Oh, that's a mistake. I'm never going to fight this one. We'll let Stroll go, and hopefully I'll get some DRS on the back straight. Nope, never mind. Stroll does it again. Good God. Stroll is all over the place this race. So now Sebastian Vettel is going to be the one who gets the look in. I'm not going to waste battery in this. Obviously, there's no point. He's going to breeze past. I'm going to try and stay with these DRS as long as I can. That would be the ideal strategy here. Let's see if we can try and hang on.
Yellow flag.
Oh my god, another one. One of the Alfa Romeos is off the track, I think. Joe Guan Yu. Well, the AI having a bit of a stinker here. They're all kind of imploding. Trying to hang on to Seb's DRS, but I think I'm going to drop out. Yeah, I just missed it. I was trying so hard to hang on there, but we're going to be under threat now from Stroll and Perez. I don't want to drain, but I have to. Otherwise we're going to get dive bombed into the chicane. Taking an early apex to avoid getting lunged by Perez accidentally, which is what the AI do best. Accidental dive bombs. P12 for now, but we're out of battery. I'll try my best to hang on as long as I can in these higher positions.
Okay, some information on Norris. They've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
We're taking that. Norris is ahead of us. AI having more issues this race. That's going to be an opportunity to gain another place and move up to P11 potentially. I'm trying to hold Stroll off. I'm confident that his tyre wear should be quite bad now at this point, but he's using a lot of battery. Look at Perez behind, so his straight line speed is very good. Track limit warning. We're going to get eaten up here. This time I don't have an answer. And we might get eaten up by at least 3 cars. Perez and Magnussen are on soft, so I don't really want to fight these two either. Come on, Checo. Magnussen squeezing his way up the inside there. Oh, this is why I don't like the AI sometimes. Can't trust them. Bit too aggressive. Here comes Magnussen again. I'm not using batteries. I've got nothing in the reserves. We have to think of the bigger picture here this race. If Magnussen goes by, I'm not going to fight it. Magnussen runs himself off the track. See if I can try and hang on to DRS on Sergio for the main straight.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
And Stroll pits. Oh no, Sebastian Vettel I think. No, Stroll. Magnussen as well.
And Jack is in the pits. Jack is in the pits.
Perez hasn't got great pace. Those soft tyres seem to be dropping off pretty damn quick. Just got to hold on for a few more laps and then we can get the mediums on. I was going to try and go for softs, but it's too far to go. More cars in the pits. Vettel, Perez, and I think one of the Ferraris. Ricciardo stays out and takes the race lead. Of course, on the same strategy as us. Schumacher Sainz also in the pits.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
I'm aware, Jeff. Not Jeff. Elvis. I keep saying Jeff. You guys have noticed in the comments I'm still saying Jeff. Gone but never forgotten. We've been caught up by the leaders. net race leader Hamilton and net P2 Charles Leclerc. This has to be as efficient as possible, so we're not going to put up a fight against Lewis or Leclerc, who should get me out of turn 2 if it will go smooth. We'll let him just take the outside line. Try to lose the least amount of time possible, and now we'll get DRS on the back straight to recover that time loss. I want to try and stretch the stint out until the next lap, if I can, just to, you know, have some better tyres at the end of the race. And that would help us out quite a bit. I'm also trying to recharge battery, so I'm not using any ERS. Just trying to get lucky with the DRS and see if I can hang on. Verstappen runs off track. I keep making that mistake. Not for the first time. I'm not going to get DRS on the main straight. I was kind of hoping for Max to pass me in a way, but still complaining. We'll box now, end of lap 16 for the medium. We've done our nice long stint on the hard tyre, nearly an out. We're going to let Max go. I'm not going to use any battery. Ricardo pits.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
There we go, Max goes through. Not ideal for time, as we lose a load of it. AI can't seem to just make a simple overtake up the inside without missing their apex by 2 countries. Max, my god. Just go past, it's not that difficult. I'm not even trying to battle. I should have just stayed ahead. I should have just used my battery in the main straight and stayed ahead. Waste of time. Right, let's get our one and only stop done. A VSC right this very second would be perfect, but we've got lucky with the safety car to help us, you know, stay in the race a little bit, so I'm not going to complain. Whoa! That was close, almost completely messed up my own race there. Okay, so we're going to get the mediums on. I think we're going to drop down to like P16, 17. There is a big train of cars making its way into the final corner right now. We're going to be just behind that, I think. It's going to be close with that second AlphaTauri, I think. Here we go, please, no failures. Oh my god, it's another slow stop. God damn it. Ah, we're going to be last.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross.
I'm getting sick of this now. The slow stops always costing us when it really matters. Could have been 3 cars ahead, instead we're 3 behind. Aiken's going to go for it here. The AI are just so predictable around here. Just force them into an inside move and they'll just run deep by 2 countries. Sergio Perez in the pits again. That's surprising. Possible damage. Up to P18 we go. There is definitely a lot of cars up ahead. If the AI battle and things go wrong, we can still pick up the pieces here. So we're not out of this yet. I'm not ruling out a point. And Lance Stroll's the next one to pit. More damage for the AI. Personal best.
Within 1 second of the car ahead, get ready to use DRS for the overtake.
Let's see what we can do. Let's try and get Latifi here if we can. He does still have DRS on Zhou Guanyu though. Battery management is going to be key. I'm trying to hold back as much as I can. There's a lot of cars ahead battling, so if we can save some up, that would be great, or keep some back. I'm going to trust the medium tyre to hold on and help us make the progress we need. You can see up ahead, these two are battling quite heavily. So we're gaining time everywhere at the minute. Let's try and get Latifi now. Now's a good time to pass. Up the inside into the final corner. Love that move. P16, let's go. Loads of cars in this straight. I don't know if it runs all the way into points, but it could run into like a P11, P12. Another personal best on that lap. It's kicking off, man. And we're not using much battery. I'm trying to save it for when we get a run or an opportunity to really pass someone. Clear as day. I think Sebastian Vettel may have damage or is a bit off the pace. Struggling slightly in the Aston Martin. That's 2 cars that have got past him now. As we have a look around the outside of Zhou Guanyu there. Second warning for track limits by trying to make that move happen. Seb is in trouble though. So we're going to get another opportunity to make this move. There we go, past the Alfa Romeo. Using Seb is going to be our way to get past these cars. There we go. Yes, we've boxed Magnussen in beautifully. Let's try and get this move done. Seb holds on. Around the outside we go. Now we're not going to have DRS, so we are going to have to drain our battery. Let's see if I can hang on. We'll drop it down to 30% and then we'll hope that's enough. Lovely stuff. Right. I don't know if we're going to have the pace to catch Ocon or Tsunoda, but we're P13 and that is brilliant for us. I do have a little bit more pace than Ocon and he's got DRS on Tsunoda. So the means we're still hanging in there. Seb is following us, I can't drop him. I don't quite have enough pace, but it's also not a bad thing because it's keeping Magnussen and the cars behind neutralised by giving the double DRS effect. Ideal thing now would be Tsunoda and Ocon to have a bit of a scrap, bring me into play, and then I won't mind dropping Sebastian Vettel. Oh, there we go, Tsunoda runs off track. Ocon forces him into an error. And we're through. Up into P12. Let's see if I can catch Ocon. He won't have DRS anymore, but he has pulled out the gap. I'm not going to fight Seb. I don't have the battery. Magnussen has dropped back, so there's no threat. We can afford to kind of mix things up with Seb, see if we can try and work together to catch Ocon. And then if one car drops out of the top 10, this becomes a battle for a point, which is fairy dust to us. Oh, what the hell? No, not again. What is happening? 3 in a row. Oh, it was such a good race. It was going so well. We've got an issue. We've got a big issue. Oh man, that is horrible. A new engine as well.
A great race then and a fantastic victory here at Paul Ricard. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners.
The Hamilton and Mercedes renaissance continues as they start to find form. Hamilton's second win of the season, and he's looking pretty damn strong. He managed to beat Leclerc and Sainz on merit on pace this race, which is a big statement for the championship. Verstappen P4 ahead of Ricciardo, who finishes P5 on that alternate strategy, hard to medium, which proves it was the way to go. And it was going well for us up until the end of the race. Schumacher P6, Albon, big news here. Williams scored points in P8, or P7, sorry, with 6 points to their name. So that is 6 points for Williams. Luckily they're still behind us, but that is a big statement, and that's a big haul of points. Alonso, Bottas, Gasly round out the top 10, and they're missing out on the points. We have Ocon, Vettel, Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, Nicholas Latifi, Tsunoda, Aitken, Perez, fastest lap down in P18, Lando, Stroll, myself, and Russell. So then, would Paul Che have got points today? Who knows? Who knows? We'll judge Aitken over the next few races. Standings wise, you can see we're still 14th, we're still holding it down. Ricciardo up to 9th with that points finish and gaining a big haul of points, jumping up the table quite a bit. Leclerc still leads, Sainz still second, but Hamilton now just 28 points behind us. He hunts down in the championship, looking for number 8. Constructors, Williams overtake Aston Martin. Officially, there are no pointless teams in this season, and we're just 1 point ahead of AlphaTauri, as of course Gasly scored that 1 point in P10. So Teams behind are getting close. We need to find something. We've almost got something today. We'll keep trying, we'll keep chipping away. But that is it for the race. Let's move into upgrades. Now back in the office, we have a marketing department event, so let's go check it out. And after that, we've got some big news. We're officially level 10, which means we can unlock an extra sponsor. First of all though, let's take care of this. Now we have to pick a rival. We have to choose between Lando Norris and Esteban Ocon. I think we'll go ahead and pick Esteban. Lando's a bit too quick and a bit too far ahead. McLaren have shown quite good form, so we'll go for Esteban and try to go for something a bit more realistic after losing out to Ricciardo, of course, on our previous rivalry. Now only 3 days until the next race in Hungary, and I think we're gonna probably get away with the group penalty. We'll have a look at the engine in a minute. First of all though, activities, we'll just throw on some weight training to keep Aiken sharp. Messages, there's confirmation of the failure, and unfortunately no extra R&D points, which is a shame. I was hoping for a few briny points, but still. That aside, let's talk business. So the component that failed was the control electronics, which is quite a big one as we get one less than the others, and it was our fresh one as well, which is annoying. So for the next race, we're going to kind of shuffle up the pack a little bit and go back on components a little bit. So we'll go back to the oldest ones we have for Hungary, as it's not a power circuit. So we'll get those all selected, and the gearbox will keep the same. We have to do at least a few races with that. That aside, R&D. Now we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get into durability work because we need to improve. So let's buy whatever we can afford. The MGUH, we'll get that on, that's only 87 points. The MGUK, we'll get that on, 300 odd points. And that's it for now. It seems like we need to unlock these upgrades. Not sure. MGUK improved materials, which one's that? Okay, it's this one. So once we get this arrive in 30 days, we can then go for the control electronics. That aside, can we afford anything else? Can we get anything else on the car? Chassis is already pretty much maxed out. We could go for a tyre wear upgrade if the facility allows us. Let me see. No, department capacity reached. Okay. And we can't afford the tertiary wing flaps or the rear wing upper flap, so no upgrades for now. But we have an extra sponsor, and this is the big moment I've been waiting for. Now this is a big one. Score more points than the team directly above you in the vehicle comparison. Now this is a bit of a tricky one. Do I want to gamble on this? Because we're not scoring points anytime soon, but we are out racing or finishing higher than Williams. So is that technically going to count? I don't think it does. I don't want to take the risk in case I don't get paid. We need this money. We're going to scale it back and play it safe. So zigzag, as a team complete a total of 30 laps during a race weekend, and we get nearly 100k for it. So we're going to go for that. That's going to work out well for us, and we're going to sign them up. And now that does mean with 3 sponsors, we've got a bit of something going now, and we'll start to get some cash flow moving within the team. I want to get another perk on soon at some point, but for now everything looks good. So let's update the car and let's go away for the next race. And here she is, the updated livery with the new sponsor in place. We've moved a few around, so we've now got Distort on the front wing. We've got Zigzag on the rear wing. We've shuffled them around. Zigzag also featuring on the front wing, and just along the side of the nose, we've moved Distort back to the bottom part of the engine cover and on the rear wing. So just shuffling sponsors around. Also on the rear wing, you can see Zigzag there featuring prominently. So yeah, big fan of this. The more sponsors, the more the car looks like a race car. So this is starting to look a bit more like, a midfield team with potential for points. I love the wheels, man. I'm so glad I modded those in because it makes such a difference. But there you go, there's the new wagon. And we're ready for the next race at Hungary, guys. Next up, Pirelli Hotlap. We'll see how that goes. If you guys enjoyed this episode, leave a like and subscribe. This could be the turning point. That race, even though we retired, the car felt good, we had decent pace, the strategy was good, and also to cap it off, extra sponsor, extra cash flow. Things are on the up, and hopefully we can try and keep that momentum going in the second half of the season. So like I said, leave a like, subscribe. Let's try and smash over 1,000 of those like ratings. As always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.